But they were selling like 30 items in the F&I office. And I mean, and a menu is absolutely necessary because they had all these different anti-theft devices. You know, Hawaii has more theft of automobiles per capita than any other state in the country. More cars are stolen per population in Hawaii than anywhere else. You understand why, don't you?
I really don't. No.
You know, that's what I said. Well, shit, it's an island. Where are they gone with all these cars?
Do they just leave their keys in them and they just drive?
No. They've got thousands and thousands of container ships going off that island every day and coming in. And the federal government or no agency can inspect all those containers. One out of 100, one out of 200 gets inspected. There's more cars stolen and shipped all around the Pacific Rim and Asia. I mean, Hawaii has more theft than just the chop shops, and even whole cars are being shipped out. I had no idea.
And they'll probably recover very few of them.
Recover almost none. You know, so anyway, they sell, you know, the menu is absolutely necessary to make you sell. Everything's there. You got to present it because the consumer's reading it with you. And I like that. I like the showdown where I've got to sell, where I've got to perform. You put me in a position where I've got to perform, I will win. You know, I'm the last gladiator. I didn't come to sell. I came to beat the other guy that's selling with me. That we don't have that competition in schools today. You know, we got the trophy kids, you know. Sorry. When my little son Zachary was like 5 years old, he was playing t-ball. You have any children?
Yes.
How old?
18 and 13.
Okay, 18 and 13. Ooh, those aren't children anymore. I'm talking about little kids. Anybody know about t-ball? Kid hits a ball off a stick, he hits it right to where the pitcher would be, and he'd have a home run, infield home run. Well, my kid was a pretty good little t-ball player. My son was a decent little t. At the end of the year, the coach got all the kids together and had a pool party. Hot dogs, Coca-Colas, swimming pool, and the coach got all the kids one at a time and made a little speech about them and gave each little kid a trophy. Now, of course, my son Zachary was a good little t-ball player. He got it. But he even gave a trophy to the little kid that pissed in center field in front of all the parents. I'm sorry, little loser kids don't deserve a trophy. 20 years later, you got the little bastard on the sales force showing up wanting a trophy. Isn't that the truth? I said that to the National Speakers Association, and those women just about ate me alive. Little loser kids don't deserve a trophy. I mean, that just about got me lynched. You know, but it's the truth. And we do have them on the sales force. It forces you to sell. That's one of the best things about the menu. It makes you present the products. And the customer doesn't feel bad about it because it packages the products together. Where they're not buying 10 items or 4 items or 5 items, they're buying one package that contains those items. Does that make sense? The concept, the perception the consumer has is that they didn't buy 10 things, they bought one thing. They bought the platinum package, one thing. It's only one sale. So that's the menu for right now. Now, where I want to go now is to service contracts. I want to go to page 25. Almost everything we do today, a service contract is available. You buy something at Best Buy, you buy electronics, no matter what you buy, somebody's going to offer you a service contract. The consumers are used to them. They have good value. It's the best thing we sell. Now here's the word track. I believe in it. You need it. If you were one of my personal relatives, I would never allow you to leave here without purchasing this. I'd like everybody to hang on to page 25, and I want you to go to page 151 of your book for a second. Don't lose page 25, but go to page 151. Now, what is that on page 151? Anybody got any idea what that's all about?
Truth in Lending Act.
The Truth in Lending Act. Now, what does that mean? Remember I said we don't sell anything on the service contract. No, skip. Cut. We don't sell anything on the menu. Remember I said we don't sell anything on the menu. Well, when do you sell? Now, I devised this form a couple years back. Now, the first thing I want to ask you, is this form a government form? No. It's a Jim Ziegler made-up form, right? So understand, it's not a government form, it's a form I made up. I give you permission to take my copyright and to redesign this form to fit your dealership. I give you permission to make this form in 3 parts self-carboning. This form is the most powerful sales tool I'm going to present to you today. It's called the TILA form, Truth in Lending Act form. Once I have done the menu and the customer has turned down certain things on the menu, I'm going to say to that consumer, Mr. Customer, this form is another disclosure, mandatory disclosure required by the Federal Trade Commission. The disclosure is required, the form is not required. Everybody understand that? I'm supposed to disclose these things. This is a mandatory disclosure by the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission does mandatorily dictate that we have to disclose these things to the customer. Mr. Customer, this form is a consumer acknowledgement of disclosure and is an additional clarification to the retail sales contract we're about to sign. Now, I'm paraphrasing parts of this on purpose. Mr. Customer, consumer protection laws require that the protection options listed above were fully explained to you by me. Consumer protection laws require that I explain these products to you. Accepting or purchasing these products is not a condition for your loan to be approved. Everybody got that? You don't have to buy anything for your loan to be approved. Nor required to qualify for a certain interest rate. Everybody's aware you cannot manipulate interest rate to make a customer buy a product. That is against federal law. Declining these protection options will serve as your waiver of liability by your signature affixed. Declining these options serves as a waiver of liability. And you agree to release and hold harmless this dealership from any liability or damages that would arise from claims that would have been covered by these items. Applicable manufacturer warranties remain in effect, and additional Regulation Z disclosures will appear on your contract. Before I go forward, let me point, this tells the customer, I did not do anything illegal. I did not tell you that purchasing these products would lower your interest rate. You're signing a statement to that effect. I did not tell you that you had to buy these products to get your loan approved. This is a really great protection if it doesn't do anything else, because the consumer is signing off that you didn't do anything illegal. You follow what I'm doing here? Mr. Customer, now the parts and labor agreement. Mr. Customer, you agreed to purchase that product. Would you please give me your initials here that you explained that product and you accepted that product? Now, Mr. Customer, you declined the credit life insurance. Now, before we sign off on that and move on, it's not a product you can come back and purchase at a later time. You can only purchase that particular product at point of purchase. Now, I believe in credit life. I've seen it do a lot of good things for a lot of people. Frankly, I believe in it. You need it. You're not leaving here until you purchase it. If you were one of my relatives, I'd never allow you to leave here until you purchased it. Is there anything I could explain to you about the benefits of that product before we sign off and move on? This is where I'm selling. Everybody sees that? If you were one of my personal relatives, you would never leave here without purchasing this. I believe in it. You need it. And if you give me any opportunity, I'm going to make an aggressive effort to sell it to you. Everybody heard that word track? You need it. I believe in it. If you're one of my personal relatives, you would never leave here without it. And if you give me any opportunity, I'm going to make an aggressive effort to sell it to you. Aggressive effort to sell it to you. That's the I care about you close. I mean, people cannot get mad at that type of close. I believe in it. You need it. If you were one of my relatives, I'd never allow you to leave here without it. Very powerful word track. Everybody got it?
What was the part after that?
I believe in it. You need it. If you're one of my personal relatives, I'd never allow you to leave here without it. As a matter of fact, if you give me any opportunity, I'm going to make an aggressive effort to sell it to you. I suggest that every dealership in this room modify this form for the exact products that you sell, and then have it sent to your printer with 3-part self-carboning, where you can give the customer a carbon copy, put one in the deal folder. This form documents legal disclosure as well as sells product.